So today was an interesting day. We got a gap down opening, and if you see, this is a 5-minute chart uh, of Nifty's and futures. So it's what I prefer to trade, and I use the Ichimoku system. So in my system, it's a combination of Ichimoku. I also keep the RSI, but I don't really use it. It's just something to look at sometimes. Uh, the brown line here is the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price, and this is the 20 period moving average, the purple line over here. Okay. Along with this, I look at the on balance volumes as well. Although I would rather have a daily on balance volume which resets at zero at big open. But most of these terminals don't provide it, so just something that I have an eye on. So this is an accumulated on balance volume from a particular date. I rather have it on a particular date. So today's opening was pretty interesting. We got a gap down, uh, and the cloud itself was okay. So I've changed the colors a bit, but here the Senko span is above B, so this is actually a bullish cloud. But the future cloud was going to turn bearish. It was obvious because of the gap. So here I had a question of whether to go short or not. So at this point there was a crossover. This would ideally be the location of my short, but I use the historical cloud as my target. So if I was shorting at 764 and my target was 700, so that was just some 50-60 points, and my stop loss would have been all the way up here or even here for that matter, 846. So the risk reward was not favorable at this point. But so I decided not to go short. But now at it's 10:30 almost. What has happened is that at the VWAP it has taken resistance. So getting resistance so many times here makes me think that it is going to go beyond this. Okay. So the interesting about Ichimoku is that when price moves very far from the Senkos, from the Tekkensen and Kijun. So let's call them T9 and K26 because this is 26 period and this is a 9 period. So when it moves far away, price tends to either get pulled back like a magnet, or it stagnates and these averages move lower. So right now, I am waiting for this low to be taken out. Okay, once price breaks this low, it would be a short and I would take it, even if this is far, because I expect that in a few periods this will automatically come down and that VWAP is acted as a good short. So let's see, I'll just track this for a while. I'll set an alert when price crosses or breaks below 710 levels. So this low is 711. So when it breaks 711, let's see how the structure is. Alternatively, it could just stagnate here all day long, which would be fine too. So let's see. So this is on the 5-minute system that I'm looking out for. On the next candle, the price has broken down and I'm just waiting for it to trigger this low. So before that happens, I think it is going to stagnate here. So in case it breaks, so let's determine my target. Okay, so since this was a gap down, okay, price tends to have the habit of pulling back and filling these gaps. But if you see on a daily basis, okay, the open was not a complete gap. It was just an opening to close gap and not a complete gap down. So it may not necessarily go back to test this gap level. That said, I think it will be a cautious trade because initially this is going to be the first support level that the price gets. Okay, so this is the historical cloud where it has kind of created a flattening bottom over here, and There are multiple levels over here. So even here, this is like a swing low, a crucial swing low. This is another crucial swing low. So I could see price come to this level and face some resistance. So this is going to be my initial target, 689 levels. Like, so I'll have to watch out how price behaves here. Then this will be my next target, 658. Okay, so what I plan to do is wait for price to move here. If it moves here, it is probably going to get move selling pressure and move down to here. When the price touches this level, I will trail my stop loss to this 690 level. So I'm shorting at 711 and my stop will be at 690. So that's some odd 20 points, and that's good enough for me. Once it takes out this level, suppose it falls beyond this, this will be my next target. So my main target is going to be somewhere around 630 levels. So it should be this low, but if you see even here, what happened was, even though this was 709, it stopped at 711, like 2-3 points here or there. So I'm going to keep 625, 630 as my actual target. So expecting it to reach there. In the long run, maybe this would be a target, somewhere over here. But since I'm an intraday trader, I will see how price behaves over here before it goes here. So here I'm waiting for this to still break. But that said, initial target is going to be somewhere around this level, 658. And if it touches that, I will trade my stop loss to 690. If 650, 660 levels are taken out, my target is 625. And beyond that, if it goes, then it's all the way somewhere over here, 550. But I find that unlikely to happen today, especially considering that yesterday and day before was such strong up moves. So this was the open over here. So if you see 15-minute charts, so this becomes interesting. Look at the 15-minute chart. This is where the trade was triggered and it was stopped out today. So this would have been an entry, I'd say somewhere around. So maybe not here, but I would enter here. So 410. Okay, so enter at 410, exit at this open 820. That's 400 points and a lot size of 50. So you can do the math. So yeah, so this is what's interesting, right? So now when I go to the 15-minute time frame, I see that price is in the cloud, and it is probably going to face a lot of resistance and consolidate over here. That is perhaps why on the 5-minute it didn't take this level out immediately. So break this and then short. So once it breaks this, that is also a reason why my initial target is so close. It's probably that the 15-minute time frame, it is choppy in the cloud, or vice versa. It could be that the 5-minute is so close, so it is. So perhaps a break below 700 levels is probably going to give my bearishness, in which case on 15-minute the target comes to 590 levels. So let's see. I think price is still going to stagnate for a while over here. So let's be patient. I've not put a stop loss sell order. I've just set a price alert. The reason being, I want to see how it breaks, and if I forget to cancel my order and this is triggered in the last 5-6 minutes of trading, I don't want that to happen. But my view right now, after seeing the 15-minute chart, is that it is going to probably consolidate over here for some time. So let's see what the high point of the cloud was on 15 minutes. Yeah, it's set 812. So on 5 minutes, 812. Okay, somewhere over. So this level, this low, somewhere between these two price points. So yeah, price could pull back. Okay, so that brings me to why I'm using the 20 period moving average. So at this point of time, 20 periods are still not over, but you can see there is a strong downtrend in the moving average. So I sometimes use this as a stop and also as a direction. So depending on the slope. So if it is not really trending, like so this period over here. Okay, the 20 period moving average was also flat. Everything was flat. So here I could use it as a stop loss, and also whether to enter or not into a new trade over here. Like when this broke out, so when this bounced back over the K26 and broke over the 29 period, I could have been tempted to go long immediately on this candle or this candle, but moving average was still not rising. So here it started rising when this was broken out. So here was a good entry too, right? So that's how I use the moving average. So here also now it would probably pull back to the moving average, or there may just not be any breakdown today, and it would just consolidate in this 812 to 790 level, 8690 level. So yeah, seems like a difficult day to get a short unless these lows are taken off. This is taken off. So in fact, I won't enter when this is broken. I'll actually enter when it goes even below and somewhere over here. Let's be patient. So the low is taken out, and it still looks a bit dicey. So I'm going to take the short because you short when you get it. Uh, but I'm a bit concerned. Okay, let's go. Let's short. So yeah, my my trade is taken. I've hedged it by buying a call. So the reason being is it takes a lesser margin if I buy a call. So this is far out of the money, and I've taken an intraday trade. So the reason I take intraday trades is I'm not tempted to hold a trade or losing trade for the next day. That hope bias is not there. So anyway, yeah. Now that I've shorted it, let's go to the chart again. Like I said, my initial target is going to be somewhere here, and I'm going to monitor the chart. So I'm not going to set a fixed target right now, but I'm going to set a fixed stop loss. Now here's the tough part. Okay, my stop loss is quite deep, and my risk reward I'm not sure of. But as of now, the K26 has not yet traded, and so I'm going to use this 17850 as my stop loss. Give the trade some time to breathe. Okay. Once the price moves to my targets, then I will think about trading my stop loss. So initially it is going to be a stop loss of 17850. So let's set that also. So exit stop loss limit 17850. Okay, this is a buy order and buy. So yeah, set a stop loss order. It should reflect in my chart. I don't know why it isn't. Let's check orders. Yeah, trigger pending. So yeah, it's placed. Okay, so now like I said, my initial exit is going to be I'm going to see how it behaves around here, but my initial exit is going to be 17650. So let's create an alert for that. Create alert. So T short exit question mark, because it's not where I really want to exit. And if it's less than or equal to, so I like this thing of zero that it gives me these alerts. So I'll get a email, I'll get a desktop alert as well. That reminds me, I don't think I have notifications. Yeah, I do have notifications. Okay. So that's my initial alert, and my second alert, create alert, is going to be my actual target, which is going to be 17620. Yeah, 622, 625. I said let's stick to rules. So actually, I set it a little sooner, so I get to come here and check how it is moving. So 17630. Nifty short exit 17630. Less than or equal to. And now since the trade is open, okay, and I'm thinking that if this is also taken out, this would be my target 520 level. Let's see what it is on the 15-minute chart. Great, it has broken below the cloud on 15 minutes as well. That's good for me, even though the cloud is actually bullish still. It's the Senko span A is over Senko span B, so that's a bit risky. But let's see what this target is. This target is around 580, 590 levels. Okay, let's see 5-minute chart where 580, 590 comes. Somewhere here. So that's what I was saying. It's tough for it to go all the way down here. 580, 590 also is a good level. Okay, let's keep monitoring it. But I think this 620 would be achieved for sure. So say it goes to 580, 590, then I will maybe use this as my stop loss rather than a target or trailing stop loss. So yeah, let's see. Okay. So it's now 11:20, 11:17 to be precise. My trade hasn't moved much, so as expected, it has waited over here at this level, which is the 690, 95 level. So now the K26, the Kijun Sen, has moved. The question is, do I trail my stop loss or not? And I am inclined to not. The reason being, I usually trail my stop once the stop has moved below my entry price. So I'm giving my trade some space to breathe. Also, like I said, if you see the 15-minute time frame, it is in the cloud. It's at the bottom of the cloud. So it's probably going to be choppy for a while more before it actually goes down. So I don't want to close this too soon and exit. And here what has happened is the 15-minute Kijun and the 5-minute Kijun both are at the same level. Because the 26 period high and highest high and lowest low for both Kijun and 15 and 5-minute is same. So I'm going to keep it at this level only. I'm not going to trail my stop as of now. I'm going to keep monitoring, and this is a typical trading day. I've entered and I'm just waiting for this to exit. Not sure whether to exit, to whether it's even going to get back to this level and break this level. I kind of expect today to be a losing day. So I'm going to look at what price does at the VWAP. Okay, that will give me a lot of sense. If it takes resistance like it did here, okay, 1, 2, 3 resistance at VWAP, then I'm going to be pretty confident that is probably going to go down. If it breaks this with a lot of ease, I'm going to wait to see how it behaves over here. Here it pulls back and again starts heading. So here, if it gets resistance and goes back down, then I'll use it as my stop loss. It will be like a swing high most probably. But I think it's going to come back to this cloud at the very least, and then see how it goes. So yeah, let's see. It seems like an interesting short today. It's a nice trade to get for the first video. See the 20 period VWAP in action. So price is getting a lot of resistance over here at the VWAP, just at the VWAP. Oh, sorry, I mean the moving average, 20 period moving average. It's getting a resistance at this level. It's very confused, very undecided price action today. Not like yesterday where it was constant. So I would have expected that once this low was taken out, price would move down strongly. That hasn't happened, but yeah, now you see the Kijun has moved down a lot, and it wouldn't have happened on the 15 minutes. So if you see the 15-minute Kijun is still there, K26, but 5 period has moved out. So now is going to be like the acid test for this trade of how it does over here. I'm still not trailing my stop loss. I'm waiting to see if this breaks with momentum, reaches 800 or something very sharply, and pulls back. That would be ideal. But if price closes above this now, I'm going to exit. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. So just the very next candle is getting resistance here. Yeah. Let's see. Interesting trade. This should be an interesting trade now. This move continues. It is 11:55 now, so almost 30 minutes have passed since the price has started moving upwards. And here you see the beauty of the resistance levels. It has taken resistance at the moving average. It has taken resistance at the Kijun Sen as well. So now I'm very tempted to move my stop loss down here. Because I don't see the price, if it breaks these two resistance levels and breaks this, it's definitely going to not continue going down. It's going to head upwards, and I'll take my losses here when I have them. So now I'm trailing my stop loss to this is 760 level, and I don't know if it got modified. Let's see. It was, yeah, it hasn't got modified. So 760, right? Yeah. So that's my trail stop loss. Now it's a trail to the VWAP, mind you, not the Kijun side. So I still think that here at this level it will probably get some resistance. And now that there has been an accumulation period, if it breaks down, I'm pretty sure it will go to this level. So 820 or 624, 625 will be my target. So yeah. So I'm pretty sure that if this consolidation period continues longer till say around 12:31 p.m. today, that is when I've noticed that there are some explosive moves, either up or down after a consolidation period. So that is why I've trailed my stop first thing, and also now my target is even more lower. I'm more confident on the trade since there has been an accumulation phase. Because a trade that goes down quickly tends to reverse quickly as well. So yeah, I'm just waiting for this to now break down below this level. That would be really interesting and do well for me. Took a price to resistance here, and it has moved down, and it moved out really nicely, but it did not take out this low. So this low is 693.35, and this low is 695. So just 2 points. But yeah, I'm now confident on this trade. I really think it's going to move down, and I'm comfortable with my stop being here too, because my risk reward is really good right now. So I'm at the loss of, like, what am I at? 460. So I entered at 707, and my stop is at 760. So that's 60 points loss, 53, 54 points loss, and for a gain of all the way up to here, that is 619. It's 80 points. So 80, 90 points. So I'm pretty comfortable with this trade at this point. Just waiting for this to break. I really don't know if it is or not going to or not. Seems like. Let's see. Dissipated at 1223. The price broke below this low, and I think now we have a very good trade setup for the day. So I could have just waited patiently and entered over here and saved myself a lot of panic. But that's hindsight. Hindsight is always 2020. This entry over here was good because of the resistance at VWAP. It was not the best. It wasn't the best because such a large gap between price and the Kijun and tickets, and it had to consolidate. It had to wait for these to come together. And also at this point, I'm not really sure if this is a profitable trade or not, like whether it's going to go down or not. Just that I could have timed it better. I would have entered here. So what was this low? 695, and my entry was 707. So 9 points. Was it worth it? It's the question. All the pressure and constantly wondering about my stop and trailing it. So yeah, that's something I need to keep thinking about. It's something I miss often. That wait for the Kijun to come back. So even here it had happened. The price rallied a lot. It came back, and it was a good opportunity to enter over here. But I could have waited again because it was far and waited for this to happen, where the price Kijun's and Tekkensen came close together over here, and then taken a trade. So it's a learning curve. Yeah. So I'm looking at this level now. Let's see how it goes ahead. But yeah, I'm even optimistic on the trade right now. Usually that's when everything goes wrong. So let's not jinx it. Let's see. Not trailing my stop loss, keeping it at 750, 760 still. Target of 624 still intact. Sorry, 695. and it still went to 707. So I could have still entered at the same price which I entered now, save myself all this panic. Not panic, but just the stress of an open trade. Could have been a calmer day. Would have just looked at the prices and waited for this to happen. So yeah, so sometimes it's worth waiting. So lesson one for today: just wait, be patient. It would happen as happened. It broke down, but it has pulled back. It has even closed above the K26 line, the kitchen sin. So should I trail my stop loss to this swing low, swing high or not? Should I keep it as the VWAP only? I'm still uncertain. Um, so I'm monitoring the trade. It's almost 1 in the afternoon now. So this is when there are good moves. Could suddenly go up all the way. So so I use this um, these are called fractal bands. So they give you the swing highs and swing lows. So when a swing high is broken, like this was a swing high which is broken over here, it's usually a stop trigger. So I'm going to use this one now. I'm going to trail my stop loss to 743 after the close of this candle. Uh, I don't know. Let's see. It's probably going to get taken. Yeah, interesting trade. So two things will happen. So if this crosses over this, there's even going to be a Dickinson over Kitchenson crossover. So that is a definite exit indicator. Then you don't hold on to a trade. So even if the high goes above this, that would happen. So I'm kind of stuck in a hard place right now. So should I wait for this crossover to happen, or should I just trade it? Everything will be decided after this candle closes. So yeah, let's just be patient for a few more minutes. 1 more minute for this candle to close. But yeah, it looks like the downtrend is over. But so VWAP has turned flattish is the problem. VWAP had it continued being falling, would have been good. Yeah, I think I'll close this now. Definite closing better. So okay, also had I taken the short as I was saying when this level was broken over here, this would have been my stop loss. So right now the stop loss is triggered on that basis. So yeah, I'm going to first cancel this order and exit this trade. So I'm going to leave the call option open in case I get another short, so reduce trading costs in the day. So I've taken a hit of 38 minus 7, so around 31 points, 30 odd points. Yeah, so that's a loss of 1500 for the day. So could see a reversal coming up now, but I'm not going to go long for sure today. And here's what's going to happen. I feel that it might break this level again, in which case I'm going to want to go short again. So I'm going to keep looking at this and monitor the trade. Long is out of question because this is a very big cloud over here and it's going to face a lot of resistance, so it will probably just come back down. Kind of regretting this decision of closing it because I should have waited for this swing high to be taken out. So I'm going to set a sell order below this low because I still feel that this is intact, this target, this one, 625. I'm going to place a stop loss sell order below this low. So this low is 689.2, so 688 is going to be my sell. I'm going to place a stop loss sell order of 688 for one lot only. Yeah. So you see the margin required which is 40,000 for this trade because I have a call option open. it's not really required, it's just in my head. I keep these calls open, so it's just a sort of hedge. It's not really a good hedge because when Nifty is at 17,690, this is a weekly expiry, which is today's expiry, right? Today is the 6th, so it's going to expire today, so it's going to expire worthless. And just keeping it in case something happens, it's a mental hedge. I don't really need to take it to reduce my margin. I'm choosing to use that to reduce my margin. Uh, yeah, this is a tough place. Definitely not going long, that's for sure, unless this is broken out, and in which case my call might actually pay off to some extent, a few points. So yeah, so long is out of the question. Just should I enter the short now or wait for this? I still feel that it's not a good trade, so let's see. I'm going to keep monitoring this. I've set an order. I'm going to take a break now. I'm going to be away from my terminal for a bit, but I'll be monitoring this on my phone. So yeah, I would have got stopped out. So should it take resistance here and then come back down, and then my short would be triggered, would be better. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this order, the sell order that I had put, because I'm not going to just blindly trade this. I'm going to set an alert. So let's see, I'll set an alert for when price is at 696 700, okay, 17,700, and then come and revisit this chart. So I'm going to set an alert if price is less than or equal to Nifty short question mark 17,700. Let's see. Once it, so why 17,700 is when it comes here, it would probably go down quickly, but I just want to be around and see how prices move here. But yeah, I find it unlikely now that seems to be that it bottomed out for today and it's going to go up. So let's just look at 15-minute charts. Yeah, so 15-minute chart is still below the cloud. VWAP will be the same across time frames. I guess like it won't change dramatically. So VWAP is here. Moving average is trending down. So Kijun has still not moved on 15 minutes. So the highest high and lowest low is still intact, more or less. It hasn't moved much because this was the low and then slightly lower and slightly lower. So it's moved a bit. Yeah, so I think this level, if it is broken on 15-minute as well, it's a good trade. And then this would be my target, 590 actually on 15 minutes. But considering that there's just 3-4 hours of trading left, not so sure. Yeah, so I think this is now the question. What does the VWAP do and say? So I expect something like this to happen right now. What happened yesterday on the long side? So price went up, came down, came to the VWAP, closed below it twice, thrice, and then up it goes. So up it goes, breaks this level, stops here for a while, tests the kitchen sin again, not the chicken sin again, and then breaks it. Okay, so what time did this happen? So this happened at 12:10. So that's what I was saying. 12 o'clock is when the good moves happen. But now for this to happen, it's again for 12:50, 1 o'clock almost. Like I said, I don't know. I don't think I'll get a trade today. I think I'm going to sit with a loss today. First trade on the channel, a loss trade. Alright. I'll monitor this. I'll come back now directly at 3 o'clock just to see what happened after this. I'll be monitoring it through, but I'll record my thoughts then. Very unlikely that I get a trade. Yeah. And which I'm really pissed about, but sometimes you just get tempted to take a trade. So someone has told me about this strategy where you look at the Banknifty at 10:15, okay, and 10:15. So here, this one. So it opened at 37,234, right? So 37,200, you buy a call and a put. You put a 60% down, 40% down stop loss, and you just wait for one of them to move. So I just looked at 37,200 call because I'm idle, and of course I had to. So 37,200 call at 10:15, opened at 142, and the price was more or less there at somewhere around 150 when I just remember this thing. So I placed a market order, and I ended up buying a Banknifty call at 172, which now so it's against my system. It's something I don't trade, something I don't know, so I shouldn't do. So I've purchased it, and I've put a stop loss obviously for it at 120. So I purchased at 170, so 50 points. So 50 into this lot size 25. So let's say 50 loss if it goes wrong. And Bank Nifty can move anywhere, so it goes to fill this gap. So you can't really say. Just if it does well, I'm lucky. If it does, that's it. But in any case, it's a bad trade, and it's a trade I shouldn't have done. Also, would have got stopped out had I taken it. So yeah, the low is 80. So yeah, this would have been stopped out also had I entered at 140. It's a bad trade. Nothing else. I don't know. And now that I'm in it, should I close it or not? So yeah, since it's in a profit, and let's not be bad, be disciplined, because that's my resolution. So 178, 178, I'm going to put a sell order. It's not going to get executed. It has dropped to 169. That's the thing with options. Buying options is like is the worst thing. Like, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have. Now I'm regretting it. And now that it's below, now I feel like I should go to my original stop itself. 172, 174, 170. Then post. Made 132, 40 rupees trading cost, 20 rupees taxes, so 60 bucks on this. I guess it kind of makes up for this call option. But okay, anyway, coming back to this, yeah, it went to VWAP, it went above it, it came back down, it's gone above. So I'm not expecting it to come down here. If it does come, it will be too late to get a trade. So I don't think any more trades today. Yeah, and if this Bank Nifty option goes, see now it's at 184. If it goes anywhere, it's not. I can't afford to be like regretting it or anything. It's not a trade. It's not a part of my system. It's not something I should trade. So yeah, that's a mistake, and I'm lucky that I closed it in a profit. Slight regret is going to be there because I'm human. But I entered at 170, it's at 188. Whatever. It's not a trade I would take. So I have closed it. And now since this is going nowhere, I'm going to also close this put call option that I purchased on the Nifty as a hedge. So yeah, so last trade for today. Over trading is my biggest weakness. So greed and over trading. The greed, like okay, there is a trade here and somebody takes it and makes money from it, so let's take it. It's not a system I trade, so I'm not trading it. But yeah, all right. Closing time. It's 2:54, almost 3 o'clock, and I usually square off my trades around this time. So interestingly, it went in the cloud. It did not break out of the cloud. Pulled back inside. It has taken support, and well, it might go up tomorrow, and I might get a trade. But as of today, because of my system tools, after 3 p.m., I do not take any trades. So I won't get. But so here's what I wanted to show you. So the trade that I closed at 180, it went on to 436. So that's 436 minus 180. I think I closed it at. That's around 256 points. And with a lot size of 25, that would have been a gain of 6,400. But this is quick money and it's addictive, and you tend to make mistakes. So I take it today and I feel overconfident tomorrow and make the same trade tomorrow, and just a spiral towards losing money. So it's okay. I missed that trade. I was not in the system. So it was a free trade. But here's the thing, I just wanted to discuss Bank Nifty chart. So Bank Nifty, if you see, behaved quite differently from Nifty. In fact, Bank Nifty is positive today while Nifty is negative. So Bank Nifty gapped down as well, but just remained flat throughout the day. It didn't even break this initial low, which Nifty had broken. Okay, and here there was a crossover. Price was still below the cloud, and I wouldn't have actually taken this trade. But it's a very different instrument altogether. It really did well in that sense, but I wouldn't have taken this trade. So the interesting thing though was, when it broke out of the cloud, it pulled back and it broke this level. So here is somewhere I might consider this trade, but this didn't happen on Nifty. On Nifty, that didn't happen. This wasn't above the cloud and pulled back. So here it has happened. So the cloud was bearish. I don't know whether this was a good trade or not, but I wouldn't have taken it. It was against my rule. The call option though, that's just bad luck. So the net for the day I am still down this much. I think a decent day because I stuck to my rules. Could have timed this entry better, but I think the loss would have still been the same. So it's okay. I made a good decision in trailing the stop here because if you see, this original stop loss is still not taken out. Okay, so it's still a short trade open, but the crossover here and price going above the VWAP are all signs that bearishness wasn't there today. And here's the key fact. Okay, so here is OBV. So the bottom of the screen, I just expand this a little. The OBV at open, so this candle, okay, was somewhere around here, and if you see, there was a selling pressure and then buying pressure, and it has come back over the open. So almost all the short volume that was selling is recovered, and now it has turned bullish. Long, the contracts are increasing. So OPV, if I had an absolute value, the point at which it crossed over from negative contracts to positive contracts, I would have squared off my trade sooner. But I don't have that data here. But it's an interesting thing to track throughout the day. Looking at OPV also gives a sense. And since we're looking at it, let's see Bank Nifty for that matter. Yeah, so Bank Nifty, here you go. So Bank Nifty, I don't know why this happens. So Bank Nifty OPV is very interesting. It dropped down, but it did not keep reducing. It remained at this level throughout the day. So I don't know. It's probably not a good trade had I had taken it. So it would have just been pure luck, not skill at all. This afternoon. So yeah, that's it. That's it for today. End of closing day, 30 points down, and a good decent day overall. Followed the rules, learned a new thing of waiting for my entry if there is a big gap, and also making the right decision in trailing my stop loss and avoiding the temptation of going long over here. So the temptation for going long came in because Bank Nifty was doing well, so I was tempted to go long over here, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, this is a trade for tomorrow. So tomorrow I might expect to go long about this level. So let's see. That's tomorrow's battle tomorrow. Live to fight another day. All right.